Hey, it's Mr. and Mrs. Catholic Comedy doing a show about joy. Today we are here with Caleb, the Catholic Pipe guy, Catholic Pipe Company guy, and also Catholic Trad. So he has a couple of different businesses out there, and he was going to bring his wife, but his wife isn't feeling well. So let's just bring on Caleb. Hey, Caleb.
Hey, guys.
How's it going?
Excellent. I'm just planning ahead of time on which tobacco to smoke next while we chit chat. So I thought, actually, since we're on a podcast, I thought, well, I've got a whole jar here that a fellow podcaster sent to me in the mail. Let's name drop in the first 30 seconds. Mr. Jimmy Aiken sent me this tobacco. So, how appropriate to smoke this while I'm actually, nosing a mic. So,
yeah. I every single podcast I do, I always, because I have these pipes right next to me. My main pipe is currently in the car because I went to a tobacco night on this past Saturday, and I haven't brought it back in with your good friend Mr. Coffin, who was able to try out his new pipe. And there were a couple people there who are like, I've never smoked a pipe before. Let me try. And so I let them try my pipe. And now they're like, I should get a new pipe. CatholicPipeCompany.com. That's where I got mine. Get one from Caleb. They're really good. And so just to be clear, Caleb is not a sponsor of this show. I'm just a fan. So yeah. So
fair enough.
He can become one if he so chooses.
A fan? I'm already a fan.
No, sponsor.
No, he did sponsor the festival last year. We'll bug him about that later. But so these ones with the longer bit at the end. I'm not a pipe aficionado. I just like a couple of them. So these ones with the longer bit, they are thingamabobs. They help with the tongue bite, which is the problem that I always had. But I tried the I think it was the apricot cream tobacco that you had sent me.
Yes, apricots and cream. Yeah, that one's super easy. That one, you'd have to freight train that to get tongue bite on that one. So
right, it was so smooth. I was very surprised. I was like, like I was smoking it at the cigar night thing, and I was like, this is good. This isn't bad, because my normal problem I have is that it gets too hot, and then I get the tongue bite. And then I end up with this like ash taste in my mouth because I don't know how to smoke a pipe right. And so it's not.
Yeah.
One day when you make it out here, when you make it to Arizona, we're gonna smoke a pipe, and you're gonna be like, oh man, you're doing it all wrong, and then you'll help me.
We got you pipes with longer stems. That's kind of like having training wheels, and we got you some really, really mellow tobacco. So we're maxing out our capabilities to ease you into it. But there's definitely some things that we can work on together. So
gateway tobaccos.
Well, so the thing that I like the best is like after a couple days after you've smoked the pipe, you can smell inside of the little I don't know, the cup, whatever you want to call it, and you can smell like the bowl. You can smell like the notes of the tobacco. That's a little harder to when like day 2, it still smells a little like ashy, but by like day 5, man, I can stick my nose right in there and just smell that delicious smell. My kids get mad at me though. They're like, Daddy, smoking's bad. I'm like, I'm not smoking cigarettes, okay? I'm smoking a pipe.
Oh yes, vastly different. It's vastly not the same thing.
I don't take it into my
lungs. I just picture Steven walking around town, holding a pipe, not in his mouth, but just sticking it on his nose, and
I mean, I don't walk around town like that, but I do, like when I'm working and I'm stressed out, I like this.
It's I consider this more manly than if he had like a glass of wine and he was just like a wine.
But it could be a brandy.
Constantly.
You could do both.
So, right.
Could do both.
So for my birthday, my in-laws, they got me this pipe holder. And so, as you can know, like my main pipe would normally be here, but it's in the car. I am too short on this pipe holder, so we'll have conversations. I think we did, because that you had that one bigger pipe that I was looking at, the Memento Mori pipe. Do you still have that one around, or is that put up already?
I'd have to, man. We crank so many pipes out of this little workshop.
I can't.
It's
I
got
can't even imagine.
yeah,
How
it's
many
just
pipes?
individuals
How many pipes a day do you make?
a day. All right. So this will get us kind of right into the conversation. The first thing you got to understand about how the Catholic Pipe Company works is we actually run in two separate lanes. So
Okay.
it's all tobacco, but we have our commercial line, which is factory pipes. They're pipes that are made on machines, and then we have our handcrafted line, which those
Right.
start as a raw chunk of briar here in the workshop, and by the time we're done with it, it's an heirloom quality pipe.
Mm,
The prices are not the same, as you might imagine.
right.
So the commercial line, the factory pipes, those are a lot more accessible to the average Joe, right? Those are going to range, from like the $50 mark for the real inexpensive ones up to about 250 bucks. Whereas the handcrafted pipes, they really kind of start at the $350 mark, and they go, I mean, they can skyrocket just depending, some pipes that I make by hand are going to take 8 hours. Some pipes that I make by hand are going to take half the week, 18 to 20
Mhm.
hours, just depending on what we're doing, the nuance in the pipe, the artwork, all the different kind of stuff like that. So how many pipes do we make per week? Well, I try to keep my deposit list as small as I
Mhm.
can so that people aren't waiting for
Right.
handcrafted pipes. So that's what takes up the bulk of my time, is making these handcrafted pipes. I try to get out one a day. I never make it. Like I'm lucky if I get 3 out a week. They take a long time to make. The factory side though, the commercial pipes, as far as just the output, it varies based on time of year. Typically in the
Mhm.
winter time and early spring is when we sell the most pipes. But
Right.
I mean, we're shipping those, we're in the high 40s for the number of states we've shipped to. We're up over a dozen different countries. They're going, worldwide, every continent except Alaska.
Wow.
That's impressive.
Every
And Alaska not being a continent is also impressive.
Yeah, it's interesting. So I have
I have sent some to Alaska.
I have here. So this is what you made this for us. I mean, not say I bought these, but you still made them. But these are
Yeah.
lighters. These are lighters that we are giving to the sponsors of the festival. So whoever sponsors it gets a lighter. Oh, I broke a seal here, but it's a really nice lighter here. And one of the cool
That's just a
things
safety
is
sticker on the back. You can take the
right.
sticker off. It's fine.
So one of the things is that it goes from being Saint Philip Neri, and then you've got a headless saint. Who was the head? Who was the headless?
You've got John the Baptist.
John the
you've
Baptist.
Got
Yeah.
Saint Dennis.
So you go from
I mean,
Saint Philip
there's
Neri,
a lot of headless
Saint Dennis.
saints.
Yeah,
But,
there are a lot of
Neri.
headless.
we can
Saint
make
Dennis.
Neri
Neri.
headless.
Dennis.
I love Saint Philip Neri. The Saint of Joy. I was very fortunate here just a few weeks ago to be at the Saint Philip Neri Oratory
Oh,
in Genoa, Italy. Absolutely
jealous.
incredible, gorgeous place. And just the air is thick in that place. There's so much history, and I was actually later told by oratory in there, priest there, Father Anea, just the history inside that oratory in the attached chapel. There's been just all kinds of stuff that's happened there, and it's a wild
Yeah.
place. Beautiful,
No,
beautiful, beautiful place.
I'm jealous. I remember when you was like, "Hey, we're gonna go down. We're gonna see the Saint Philip Neri Oratory," and I was like, "Man, you should invite me to go with you." And then you're like, "Yeah, you can come with if you'd like." And I was like, "Oh, see, that was just me trying to make you feel bad about not inviting me. I literally can't go. We've got 7 kids, one on the way,
Not
and
that you would anyway. This guy's afraid of flying over the ocean.
I'm not afraid of
Mm.
it. I just will never do it. I don't like flying over water because that's where planes disappear, right? That's like where you hear like, "Oh, and they were never seen nor heard from again." Like cuz if you go down over the land, at least they'll find your body. You go in the water, you're just gone and they're never going to find you again.
Shark bait. Ooh.
Shark bait. Yes.
We'll get together and we'll talk about it. I'm sure I could work on you a little bit. We can use Mrs.
would
Catholic
appreciate-
Comedy and use a little peer pressure.
I would appreciate that. I love history and I love architecture and I love Europe and I would love to go. And he is adamant against it. And so I told him, I'm like, fine, I'll just take our oldest girls when they're older and they're teenagers and just a bunch of women in
No.
Europe all alone
That can't
with
happen.
no man to protect us.
That can't happen.
It's gonna be like like another Taken.
Yeah, no,
movie.
because then I'm gonna have
Well,
to go
there's-
there. I'm gonna Liam Neeson my way through Europe, and that just
Right. You wouldn't have to if you did it the right way. You know, there's different ways you can go to Europe. You can rough it with a backpack. You can take a cruise, take a history tour. The best way, in my opinion, is to schedule an excursion with people that know what they're doing and where to go, and they know the locals, and that's what we do. We go with Tom Ruby and Alan Cornett with cultural debris excursions. These are the most beautiful Catholic men you've ever met. And all we did for 11 days in Italy was hang out with locals and go to places and spend real time in places that tourists just don't get to see. So, I mean, it was the entire trip was a backstage pass, so to speak. It was absolutely wonderful.
Sounds amazing.
Well, see, I have been to Italy Pavilion in Epcot, and I was assured that that's pretty much the same thing as going to Italy. They have their own leaning tower and everything, so pretty sure, right?
Mhm.
It's not, no.
How much like I've seen your videos that you put out there, and you are making pipes and smoking pipes. You've got to go through a lot of tobacco in a day, like because your videos are the most relaxing videos that I've seen. Because just you cutting into some wood, making a pipe, and then you'll be like, "Oh yeah, nope, looks
Some
like
ASMR going on.
well," but then he'll stop
Relight.
and be like, "Oh, looks like this one's ruined because as you can see, this particular kind of wood has holes in it, and I've cut into a hole.
Yeah.
So now this is ruined. That's a day's gone."
That happens all the time. That happened yesterday. I was a ways into a absolutely beautiful pipe, and
No.
it ended up in the reject pile. You know, it happens. It's natural materials. It's briar wood from Italy, and sometimes from Greece. And you know, being a natural material, it hides flaws. You don't know it's there until
Mhm.
you get into
They
it.
cut
So,
into it, and you don't
Yep,
do the thing
you
that
got it.
other people would do, which would be like dip the whole thing in resin first, so that you get.
Yeah.
I've seen the videos of people like, "Oh, I'm making this pure wood table," and they take a piece of wood and they're like, "First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna cover it in resin so that it's basically now it's just really plastic and not wood."
Yeah. Well,
so-
the beauty of a briar pipe is that it's briar. So, you know, maintaining the integrity of a briar pipe is crucial. So that's what we do. That's honestly that's the only material that we make pipes out of here, both for the commercial line and for the handmade line, with very very rare exceptions being olive and morta wood. So, like
I'm gonna get
I've
you
got
to make
morta
a gourd.
right there. That's a morta. I could use a gourd to do a calabash. They're not super practical and they break. So
Well,
I mean, they're really cool.
the thing is to look like a Sherlock Holmesian pipe. That's what I want.
Yeah,
I
you
want a
could look
giant
like
Holmesian.
you could look like Sherlock Holmes with any manner of different shapes and sizes. You know, a big Hungarian with a big old curl on it. You know, that's
I'm
we could do that
expecting
out of
the
briar.
men's night that you go to all of a sudden everybody look like Gandalf or Sherlock after a while.
Yeah, I mean the pipes are getting
The way he reps you out here.
look, I'm a huge fan of the pipes. They are nice pipes and I like them, and you are a good, decent person. And I would much rather they buy pipes from you
well, thank
than
you.
buy the cigars from the corner shop or whatever they buy their cigars from. Like there is a Catholic cigar company out there. That
Actually, Incensum,
Yes.
JJ and Shay, you know, they're friends of mine. They are not in business at the moment.
What?
They're
Really?
currently searching for a new company to produce their product. That company is on hold, unfortunately. So it's just me now.
Just you've destroyed the competition, even though they're friends, and you didn't do anything to do
They're
it.
friends. Come on, man. No, we're all friends in this genre of business, right?
That's true.
No,
That's true, and that's the one thing that people kind of forget. Like I think in like the podcast realm of things, and we're not doing this to become rich or famous or anything. We're doing this because we're trying to promote the festival, and that's all.
And we like to talk.
And we
our
like to
group
talk.
chat we're in gets annoyed with us.
That's true too.
'Cause we talk too much.
But I know that there are a lot of people out there who are like, oh well, now I have to. This person's made it, so now they're the enemy. You know, it's like, oh no, now I have to hate this person. Like, really?
Yeah,
I know,
nonsense.
that's weird.
Not how it works with us. You know, I mean, just us. We've got, a small group of Catholic gentlemen, Catholic business owners that we work very closely with and talk to constantly,
Yes.
and bouncing off ideas and promoting each other. And it's a wonderful, beautiful thing. So,
And
Yep.
I keep adding new people to it all the time. I added someone today. I was just like, it's Charles Frowny.
it was Charles. Yeah.
Charles.
Charles.
Well, because he does the
Charles.
Slaying Dragon books, and I like he's
man.
trying to do stuff. Yes, I have
His mug.
I have his mug here that I use for my tea. It's in my teacup.
Your
My
tea-
tea mug.
I just about grabbed a Catholic comedy mug and put A&W cream soda in it, but I didn't.
Oh, that's okay. Cream soda is fine in there. It's just cream soda, tea. Well, your wife,
Coffee.
your wife, when she got, because I got you when I sent you guys like the 20-ounce ones or something like that, right? It was some sort of
Yeah,
ridiculous.
those are more akin to beer steins than anything. Those things are ridiculous big. So
I didn't know.
how many beers can I fit in this? I think it's more than 20 ounces. I'm pretty sure I could put 2 whole beers in it before it overflows. But yeah, they're super big.
I wasn't so like I was sitting there and I'm like, what size do I normally get? Because it's like there are 3 sizes, right? I'm like, well, probably not the smallest size, and I don't know, the medium size. What? Let me just get the large size and send that. How big could it possibly be? And then you took the pictures with your wife. Like your wife took pictures, and it was just this massive mug, and I was like, oh, that's
Look at this coffee mug that Steven sent us. No, this isn't it, but
that's not it.
That's not it.
That's not it.
It's a
But
pickle jar.
that is a pickle jar, I think. I would imagine it is a pickle jar.
that's a pickle jar with tobacco in it.
Ah.
This was
Okay.
this was full of wants, but I share a lot. So
Yeah. I mean, I know. Like, so how does your wife like this? This is your main job, right? The pipe company stuff. It's your main gig.
yeah, we're full time. This is what I do for a living.
How long have you been full time with it?
So we actually we own an LLC that we were actually doing some other stuff through, but we went public with the pipes in April of 2024. We went full time February of 2025.
So right at our last festival.
Our festival, yeah.
And that, so I would say, due to your sponsorship of our last festival and our promotion of your goods, you were able to go full time. I think that's the accurate.
You
thing to
carried
say.
me.
I carried you.
You carried me. Yeah, thank you for paying my bills. Appreciate that.
The Arizona market.
I mean, the number of times when I was like, because you were doing the watches for a while, and
Yeah, pocket
like,
watches. Yeah.
the pocket watches, and I was just like, hey, I need a pocket watch. And you're like, okay, like, and so I got my Catholic comedy pocket watch,
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
and St. Philip Neri or Pro Nobis. I also got one for my brother. I think I got like 2 or 3 other watches.
Got one for our son.
We got one for our son. No, I got 2 for me, and then I got this one, and I gave the other 2 to our sons,
Right.
and then they promptly broke them because that's
Because
just
they're
Yeah.
5.
yeah. The battery has
So,
died on
you know,
this, but it's still a nice watch.
Yeah, and that's one of the things. Like the watches, that was just a fun thing to do for a little bit. That wasn't, to make money or start a watch
No.
company or anything. That was something that we added to the lineup through the Catholic Pipe Company just for funsies. But at the end of the day, we really kind of dropped that because of the fragility of watches.
Yes.
And those run on batteries, and they're not super permanent, right? But like a briar pipe will outlive the owner, right?
Hmm.
If it's not dropped on concrete, or like Catholic Trad, our sister company. We sell safety razors that are made out of 401 stainless steel that will absolutely take a beating and live forever. I mean, you can pass those on to great grandchildren if you were so inclined. But they're like pipes. They're kind of old technology, right? They're coming back into vogue, but that's
I
that's the
wish
kind of stuff that we're interested in, is traditional
A
tools
shaving
made to
kit, huh?
outlast the owner. Oh man, we've got some cool
I know.
stuff
I was
already
looking at it.
available, actually, and more in the works.
My brother, he shaves. My brother shaves. I don't. Uh, I this is all wild, and I also don't cut my hair either. So this is all natural. Just the way that this is. But like, my brother does shave, and I was thinking that for Christmas, I'll probably. And you know what? He's not watching this, so I can say it. No, he's probably not.
There you go.
Not at all.
family
There you
doesn't
go.
want.
But
Family's like whatever.
yeah. So I'm thinking that some of that stuff would be good. So what does your wife think? Since I was going to ask her when she was here, but she's not here because she's sick. But what does she think of like your career shifting to pipes from whatever it was before? I believe you were a gun for hire before. Now you're a pipe maker.
My career path before this, I was a industrial safety advisor for the
Sure.
world's largest agricultural retailer. I did that for quite some time, and it was a great job. It was a legitimate career position, and we left it. Actually. So, well, first let me answer your question. How did the wife feel about that? So, I'm very fortunate to have a beautiful lady that I call my wife, and she said, "If that's the plan, let's go. Like, let's
Hmm.
let's do it." So, we I'm a little bit meticulous when it comes to numbers and planning and things like that. So I set a standard.
Mm-hmm.
If we do this, this, and this, we'll pull the trigger, and then it happened. Well, here we go. So, you know, um, doing the pipe business wasn't the plan, but the best laid plans, God laughs them off and says, "No, how about you do this?" And here we are. Um, and opportunity after opportunity after opportunity just kept falling in our lap, and you fast forward not very long, and suddenly we're in Italy doing business, and things of that
Crazy.
nature. So it's been an absolutely insane year. Um, I mean, you think we haven't been full time for 12 months yet. Um,
Right.
Mhm.
But you
and
are full time. That's kind of nuts.
we are full time.
Anytime I float an idea past my wife about me opening my own business, she's like, "Well, why don't we try it first without you quitting your job, and then we'll
Yeah.
go from there." It's like, I think I'm gonna make sketch comedy full time. Maybe won't do that. Maybe not that. Right?
Well,
Is
I,
that
I
We're
was
opening a
doing I was doing the pipes
pizzeria.
part time. I
Mhm.
was part time for almost a year, and then it was time to go. Um, but it is a unique situation that we have. Even
Mhm.
before we went full time, we have 4 kids,
Mhm.
and the wife's a homemaker, and she homeschools. So we have 4 homeschool kids running around, and the wife's at home, and I'm at home. And
That's
we live 4 miles
very
south
similar.
of the. Yeah. So I mean, this is like this is the Catholic dream, right?
Mhm.
Um, but we have the added bonus of being on 6 acres out in the country with 0 neighbors. Like, our nearest neighbor is just beyond a mile away. So, um, and there aren't very many of them out here. So
Mm.
it's a unique situation. It's a beautiful way to live. It's a natural way to live, and we're
It is.
living it. We're actually doing it. Um, I'm not gonna tell you that it's easy.
No.
It does come with its share of anxiety and sacrifice, but it's 100% worth it. And we have to keep, in the back of our minds, like, hey, if this tanks tomorrow, we'll keep
Right.
going, but Caleb's going to have to get a second job doing something
Mhm.
that he's overqualified for, and that's okay.
So
That's definitely okay because it'd still be worth it.
so we have 7 kids, one on the way. She does also homeschool and home make, and I do work from home. This is kind of my office area that I do, so I know exactly what you're talking about. We only have 3.5 acres, but we also have 3 cows now. Three. We have
Wow.
3 cows.
Surprisingly,
Yeah.
3
actually.
cows.
3 cows.
We weren't expecting the baby to come till November, and we were driving to the store, and I was like, wait a minute, turn around. I could have sworn I saw a large animal next to our other large animal. And we turned around, we're like, that's a baby. Like, there was just a baby. We weren't
Man.
expecting for at least another 2 weeks.
Man, it's really too bad that Tiffany's not in here because, like, her absolute favorite thing in the world is milking Jersey cows. We used to have Jersey cows, and that
Well,
got
if you
flipped
ever
when we had a house fire. But
Ooh,
Yeah.
well, if you ever want to milk some Jersey cows, we've got one, and she does need to be milked. Actually, after this, we have to go get feed for the turkeys because Thanksgiving's around the corner, and
Fatten 'em
then
up.
gotta fatten them up. We do. We'll probably get some corn to mix in as well, so that we can get them, to bulk up a bit. We got to get some feed for the turkeys, and then I got to milk a cow before it's time for bed because we found out today we have to milk her twice a day, even if she's got the baby, because that's how
This is true.
jerseys are. They over milk
That's how
or they
jerseys are.
overproduce. Yeah, so
They
and
do
that's
indeed.
a thing. Like that's a thing that PETA doesn't tell you because they don't understand that we have that. Like, well, they'll say things like you're stealing milk from the baby cows. Like you're not stealing milk from the baby cow.
Cannot physically consume that much.
The
milk.
mama cow will die if you don't milk her enough
Mhm.
to get rid of that excess milk because
A painful death too. Mastitis
Yeah.
is no joke.
right. And so you gotta milk that cow, otherwise the cow
Yeah.
dies. So
It gets easier, I promise. Once the calf gets to a certain weight, you can do something called calf sharing, and if you haven't figured that out yet, it's beautiful. I'll give you the cliff notes. You have a barn?
no.
It's easier with a barn. Okay. You have a milking stanchion though. Anyway, so separate the calf in the evening
Right.
so that there's like a fence between, just so it can't nurse during the night, right? First
Mhm.
thing in the morning, you milk the cow and she'll be full. And then after you're done, you turn the calf back onto her. And as she replenishes during the day, the calf eats. And by the time you get to the evening milking time, she is dry.
Yeah. That's what we'll
Separate the
end up
calf again,
doing.
milk in the morning. It's just so much easier when you only have to do it once a
Yes.
day. But we always had 2 jerseys and they were not on the same calf cycle. So we always had to go
No.
twice a day, man.
There
It
was
was
no break.
brutal.
How do you like you got to find someone to watch the cow if you ever want to go do anything.
Mhm.
Someone has to come to milk the cow, and that's the biggest problem, right? As a
Yeah,
cow owner,
you can't leave home if you have a milk cow.
right?
Yep.
Because it's like the cow is in milk, and it's been great because the last couple of months, the cow has been we dried her up because she was pregnant 10 months, and we're like, okay, she's pregnant. We're just gonna wait a couple months, and then we did the whole process. We got her dried up, and then like, okay, it's mid-November. She'll have the baby, and then we'll have to start milking again. And nope, she had to start milking right away.
Surprise.
Yeah, so we
Mm.
went through the whole
Surprise.
rigmarole with the last calf, and who is I think about 6 months away from the butcher shop.
We'll probably
Mm.
wait till next fall though,
Probably just because we
when it's nicer out to butcher and it's not going to cost as much for cooling.
yeah. So we got to
You
move
could
that.
just, I guess you guys are in hot climate, excuse me, hot climate, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, man up, dude. Do it the Mitchells do and just butcher your cow.
Well, so my father he lives up in the mountains where it is cooler, but he doesn't turn on his butcher room during the summer because it costs so much to keep it cool. And so he's like, oh yeah, no, I open it up in the fall. And I was like, oh, okay, so next fall. So baby was born last fall. And I'm like, no, I think we'll have to wait the full 2 years
Yeah.
to wait for the
then we
to
got
be ready. But it gets like 115 here, so it's like
we gotta load the cow.
We won't even do birds during the summer because of the risk of it getting so like infested with flies and the heat. And
yeah, but we got to do birds for we got to do the birds for Thanksgiving. I'm thinking we're probably gonna have to because I ordered 8 male birds. 3 died in the first week, which that's expected.
Turkeys?
Like turkeys, yeah. 3 turkeys.
Yeah, they're just horrible.
Right. So 3 died in the first week.
There.
And the last 5 females, not males. And so I was like, are you kidding me? I ordered 8 male toms, like 8 toms, and I got 5 hens, or whatever you're gonna call a female. But like, yeah, so now I have 5, so I'm probably gonna knock 2 off and do 2 turkeys for Thanksgiving. Our smoker's big enough for both.
I want turkeys. We don't have turkeys. We have wild turkeys out here.
so stupid.
But we don't have pet turkeys. We have chickens and guineas.
Because if you have a wild turkey,
we have chickens and guineas.
Guineas are awful. They're so loud and they fly.
They do fly. That's actually important out here because there's coyotes. So the guineas stay alive because they fly, and we have brown leghorns because they fly, the chickens. And we have a low mortality rate. We also have a Great Pyrenees that runs around out here. So really we have almost no predation because of the types of birds we have and our night patrol. Because Pyrenees are naturally nocturnal and she knows what she's doing. She's a great dog. But
we have coyotes, but our biggest issue is the hawks, the overhead, the aerial attacks.
We have Harris hawks, and they fight in groups, and they can
they
can take down a goose.
I didn't know this. So I thought all hawks were solitary for the most part. And then turns out the type of hawks, there's 2. That we have the red-tailed hawks out here, and then we have the Harris hawks. Turns out the Harris hawks hunt in groups. And I was not aware until they took out our entire flock by first beheading mid-air our guard goose and then dropping it, leaving it, and then wiping out almost our entire flock.
I don't mean to laugh. Like, that's horrible. But I know exactly what you're talking about. Harris hawks are known among the falconry community as the sky wolves or wolves of the sky because they do hunt in packs, even though they're birds. Very easy to transition from that to falconry.
Yeah, we have like a solid 6 of them.
Yeah, no, for aerial predation here, usually at my place, it's great horned owls. And they tend to leave the chickens and guineas alone because they'll coop themselves up mostly, but they kill cats. So because they're humongous, the great horned owls are huge.
So crazy thing. I had a headlamp, and I'm going outside. I'm just walking along to go check on the eggs for the chickens because we have chickens in a coop, and I check the eggs at night. So I'm walking to go check the eggs for the chicken coop. And I just look to my right, and I could almost touch it. Great horned owl just right there on the fence. I was like, oh, hello. And it looks at me, and then it spreads its wings and it flies, and they're huge. Like, you don't appreciate how big a great horned owl is until it's right there in front of you. And it swoops down and flies up and goes over the fence to the other side and like goes away. And I was like, oh, and like, it was crazy just how big it was.
Moving out here to having land was crazy for us because things we've never seen in outside of a zoo. So like a skunk for first, like I didn't even know
skunks
were in this area.
Naked meth heads running through the woods. Just all kinds
we don't
of crazy
have, we don't have that one.
We don't have that one. But like our sons were just peering outside of their door. They're supposed to be in bed. And I'm yelling at them like, get to bed, like not listening. And they're like, there's a snake in the hallway. It's like, whatever. There's no snake. They're like, Mom, there's a snake in the hallway. It's like, yeah, right. And
The
I was like,
joys of country
fine, if
living.
this will get you to go to bed, I'll check. And I go and I look, and it's this little baby king snake curled up in the hallway. And I was like, Steven, there's a snake in our house. And that happened 2 additional times. So there have
Awesome.
been 3 king snakes in our house. But we captured those ones and we let them go because those will eat rattlesnakes. And we're like, you're good. We like you. Get rid of the bad ones. And then we saw a skunk go into our property. We thought for the longest time there was some super inconsiderate neighbor just smoking weed right outside of our house every night around
Just a
10.
skunk.
He found it. I think it was under the lawnmower, right?
It went. So I saw it, and it ran, and it went under the lawnmower. So I went and I lifted the lawnmower. It had crawled up and was curled up in the exhaust part where it shoots the grass out. Like that's where it was kind of hiding, and it was there, and I was like, all right.
He took a picture. He's like, hey, I found the neighbor that's been smoking pot.
Like I just put I put the lawnmower back down, and I just walked away. Like, you know what? That's where
you're
want
lucky
to
you didn't get nailed.
Yeah.
You know, you got to be careful because the reason skunks like to hang around farms is they eat eggs. So
yes. No, the first time we found a skunk, we saw it on the camera because we had camera in the coop to see, because we were like, oh, what
trying to catch our egg eater chickens.
What chicken is eating the eggs? And so so I went and I put a camera
big black and white tail.
and then I'm looking at it, I'm like, that's a skunk. Like in the coop. How'd it get in the coop? And so then I was like, I went and I was there, and I went and it was inside the coop, so I put a piece of wood between the coop door, in front of the coop door. And I'm like, okay, I don't know what I need to do with this. So I called the neighbor and I'm like, what am I supposed to do? And he's like, do you want me to bring my 40-aught? I'm like, it's a skunk. I think that's probably a bit of overkill. Well, then I don't know what you want from me. Like, okay.
It will explode it into smithereens all over the inside of your chicken coop, but I'm sure the chickens would eat it. Matt, did you have any idea that we would be talking about homesteading so much on this podcast?
No, but
beautiful.
We just talk about stuff, so homesteading does come up.
So let me interject something that I thought about a minute ago, though, when you were talking about owls. When I was in Italy, one of the things that I got to visit in Genoa was this beautiful, historic and world-renowned cemetery.
Okay.
And in a lot of the art and statues and stuff which are there, you see owls all over the place, not cast, but carved in marble. So that was an observation over there. I was like, oh yeah, it's not like they don't have owls in Europe, but it's just
right.
like a piece of home being over there. And then the cow thing, and we've got a situation that it started during COVID over here. It's definitely eased up a bit, but it still happens from time to time where farmers can't get a cow into a butcher shop without an appointment. And appointments can be a month out or 6 months out. If somebody cancels, then you can get a next day appointment. But what does a farmer do when a cow breaks its leg?
Yep.
And they can't get in a butcher shop? Well, you have 2 options. You can shoot her, put her out of her misery, and put her in a ditch or in a hole, bury her. Or you find some, put it in the chicken coop, let the chickens eat it for the next 8 years. Or you find somebody crazy enough to butcher his own cow. And so just 3 weeks ago, maybe, we butchered our 6th cow. It was about 1,800 pounds. I say 6th cow since COVID. So that is a big task. Let me tell you.
Do you have a forklift or something like that to lift the cow up?
Usually we use a tractor loader, lift it. The other day we used a skid loader. So yeah, you gotta have something to move it. So it's a big animal.
Right. That's the big thing. Like that's like my neighbor has goats and he eats goats. And so, but those are easy to deal with, right? You just
manageable. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So well, he may have scarred my daughter for life because she was outside playing on the trampoline.
Of all of our kids, the one who is like the diehard animal lover was outside.
Right. And so
witnessed the goat slaughter.
Yes, and well, because what he does is he gets them, he ties their legs up, he basically pins them to the ground, and then he goes to the neck. That's and then he lifts and drains the blood out and stuff like that. But he starts by like until the goat goes like bah, bah, bah! Like, and this is horrifying, blood curdling scream. And our daughter is out there, and like he calls me and he's like, hey, sorry, I killed my goat, and then I looked and I saw your daughter was in the backyard, so hopefully she's not scarred.
And she comes in, she's like,
I think you need to make a clip of that segment where you're doing the dying goat scream.
Should be its own gift.
We have a person. We'll send the video to someone who's helping us with the social media stuff. So we'll send that. And she'll put it on our Instagram. Little clips.
I want that immortalized on the internet.
That is. I mean, it's just
Man,
it's the sound. It's what happens. Like, because with goats you can slaughter them and they're pretty easy. Like I can do birds.
Not so much with a cow.
I have a hard time with mammals. Like birds, they're like chickens, turkeys, ducks, geese, whatever. They're pretty darn easy. They do the whole flappy thing, but they don't scream, right? Like
yeah,
don't
scream. Consider this with like a cow. When you take a hind quarter off, I'm talking just knee to hip. It takes two guys. Two guys struggle to move it from the building to into the kitchen to get deboned. I mean, you're talking 250, 300 pounds on a big cow, just need a hip. But think about how much hamburger costs right now.
Yeah.
Right? It's like $5 a pound, something like that. So, a cow like that, if we grind the whole cow, that's 500 pounds of hamburger. You can do the math. It's worth taking a day off to butcher a cow. If somebody says, hey, you want a cow? Its leg is broken. Yes, right. I do. I will take the day off because shoot, I'm not going to make that much money making pipes today. So let's get the equivalent in beef in the freezer. Of course, I can never do it completely by myself. So I have to find willing volunteers. It's usually people that haven't done it before, because once they've butchered one with me, they're just like, that was too hard. But
or people who want a quarter cow, right? People who are like, I want a quarter of this cow, so I'll help.
Exactly. And they, like that's the opening conversation. How much room do you have in your deep freeze? Oh, well, we've got a chest freezer, and there's at least a third of it open. Like, okay, we're gonna fill that. Come and help me, and we'll send you home with meat until you can't take anymore, and then I'll just keep the remainder. Okay.
You're gonna want to go to the hardware store and pick up another deep freezer. Just
we've done it.
Yeah,
we have done it twice.
Well, as it is, we have a standing freezer that has drawers, but then we have a deep freezer, and then we have our fridge that has freezers on the bottom.
We have 2 fridges. We have 8 kids.
So we have 2 fridges.
We have 2 fridges. We have a standing deep freeze, and we have a chest deep freeze. And before we take this cow to across the rainbow bridge, as it were,
do they have that for cows?
I don't know.
Is that a thing for cows?
But before we take this cow there, or to meet its creator, which is actually heresy. That's not true. Cows don't. Anyway, before we kill the cow, we're gonna just buy another deep freezer. Like another giant chest deep freezer to use, so
just for beef,
for the cow. So,
for what it's worth, I don't believe that the Catholic Church has pronounced dogma on what happens to the soul of a cow when it goes. I mean, they have divine elevated souls like humans, but
we don't know what happens to cows. That's true.
We don't know
That's
what
true.
happens to cows.
I mean, I would, actually.
But our this last one that was just born this week, several people have been like, how could you raise it knowing you're gonna kill it and eat it? And I'm like, well, so the first one she had was a boy, and now this one's a boy and soon to be a steer instead of a bull. But it's like, well, her first baby we named Burger, and we explained to the kids his name is Burger because that's what he will become. Like this, do not get attached to Burger.
We had one called Patty. We had one called T-Bone. We Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
this new
how can
one
you
is
look in those
sirloin.
eyes? It's like, well, it's very simple. You look at its face and you think, you look delicious.
Well, so the thing about like the Jersey, that when they're babies, okay, their eyes are super weird looking, right? They've got like this
Yeah.
because like it's this weird thing because
Huge.
they don't look like people eyes. They look just like these weird kind of like a cross
Alien.
between a human and a goat eye. Not quite a goat, but like I don't know, they're square or something. It looks weird. The eyes look super weird. But then when they get older, then they start to look, like they look a little cuter. And so yeah, I mean, I would have a lot easier time letting the baby go than I would the mom, because the mom, like, I've trained that mom. She knows me,
Oh, yeah.
and like she's only got so many years of dairy until she goes to the freezer too.
Well, we never did eat our dairy cows, because like they're like big dogs, Like the best cow we ever had, her name was Twinkle, and she came from
Mhm.
an Amish community, and she was old when we got her, and she was just the most gentle, loving thing. When my son Will, when we got her, Will was not quite a year old yet. So like as he started to run around, helter skelter, like we would, he'd be in the barn and we would set Will on Twinkle's back and he would, ride her around the corral like a horse, and she would nuzzle the babies, and she was just the most wonderful animal.
Oh,
Um,
yeah. I think
and
we'd only
same thing with her sister.
Yeah.
I think we'd only probably send Clarabelle to the freezer if it became a matter of financial need.
If we needed the
Honestly,
meat.
like if we needed the meat or we couldn't afford to feed her any longer or something along those lines, because she
However-
is super sweet. We got her
however-
as a baby and she was only $250 and we're like, she's already paid for herself
There you
twice
go.
over here. So.
Well, so
Yeah.
so the thing about Arizona, which is where we are, is that we can sell the milk raw. So people can just like there's no like person to person sale.
Can't do
of
that
raw
in
milk.
Nebraska.
Right. So like somebody comes to
Yeah.
us and they're like, "Hey, I would like some of your milk," and we're like, "Okay." We sell it for $10 a gallon, and like that's expensive. Like, yeah, well,
The jars
so-
themselves are $6. So if you don't return the jars, that right there was $6.
like
Yeah.
if you want good milk, the thing about raw milk, and not to cause too much controversy, but the thing about it is that it's easier on the stomach. It tastes better. Like
It
raw
tastes way
milk.
better. Jersey
Yeah,
milk
raw-
in particular, high cream content.
Yes, Jersey. So
It's like drinking ice cream.
it can be,
Ex-
yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then
so good.
you scoop the cream off and you make the butter. And my entire life, I never knew what real butter tasted like until we had our own cow. Because like now, because we had to pull her off, or we had to pull off the milker for a bit, right? So then we had to go back to store bought butter, and it's like it tastes like
Awful.
corn.
Yeah.
It just tastes like corn. Like you just
Yeah.
you can smell and taste the corn in it. And like the milk, the butter that you get from your cow, that it tastes like butter, and I can't really explain it other than like whatever you think butter tasted like, that's not what butter tastes like.
That's not what butter tastes like.
Right?
I mean, there are places you can get good butter from, like Mennonites or Amish communities, stuff like that, where they actually still milk the cows and make the butter. Sure, but like with our excess milk that we always had, it was not a problem because we were set up as like an old school Nebraska farm, which meant that we had chickens and we had pigs. So
Yep.
we did the old practice that they call slopping the pigs. So we had 6 gallons of milk a day. We would daily ingest between 1 and 2 gallons of milk, which is a lot, especially since our kids were still pretty small. But
Okay.
on your
Kids
little
can
homestead
go through
Catholic kids, they
so
drink a lot
much
of milk. And I drank a lot of milk. I would suck the cream off the top and get in trouble. But but every day, yesterday's milk would go to the pigs, and I got to tell you, you grow pigs fast when they are on a steady diet of Jersey cow milk. And we were butchering our own pigs too. You want to talk about some monster pork chops, man? Those were some beautiful days. We'd make our own sausage, our own bacon.
Okay, we like the
We
idea of
don't
pigs.
anymore.
Pigs are difficult to deal with. They destroy fencing in ways that not even goats do. Like goats will squeeze under a fence, a pig will go through it. And like
Yeah.
you'll be sitting there and you're like, "Oh, hey,
Could you please?
hey, this is like we got the pigs in this area and they seem well secure." And then they'll be like, "No, I'm gonna push through the fence." Like the fence doesn't work that way. And then all of a sudden one day the fence is down. You're like, we had problems with pigs.
Yeah, it
And-
sounds like it.
We tried it. Well, we had the coonies for a little
Yeah.
while and really liked them, but
Yes.
the boar was so aggressive with like we had a pony at the time too.
He bit the pony.
He bit the pony in the leg.
Mm.
But he would
And
do
he would
do
just like eat like if a chicken had
Yeah.
died, he'd just like eat a whole chicken.
yeah,
like-
he would just
Yeah.
it was this like a hawk had come down and had killed a chicken. And this is a chicken that had like the day before been like sitting on the head of the pig with no nothing.
Like
But-
besties.
As
No
but
care
once
in the world.
right. Once the hawk killed the chicken,
Yeah.
like the pig just comes over and goes like hawk and like eats the whole thing
Yeah.
like whole. And I was like, what happened? Like so
Well,
the
well,
hawk,
coonies are a whole different animal from what we had, though, man. Because like when we had a boar, it was an old spot, and that boar was 850 pounds, and it would eat tomatoes out of my hand. But we got to the point we were like, our kids are getting really comfortable at the farm and around all this livestock, and that is a liability. So we ended up selling that boar. And he's probably gone by now, but he was going to live his absolute best life, making many, many, many more babies. So, the good old fashioned way. So, it was sad to see him go, but it wasn't like he got sent to a locker. So, yay for that.
Yeah,
But,
that-
man,
I
we grew
probably
some
only-
big pigs.
I probably could only handle the coonies. I can't handle an actual pig. I think people don't really think about how big they get. Like, they are
teacup pigs
Yeah.
are
massive
just
Farrowing
creatures.
big.
stock gets pretty big. Farrowing pigs like Yorkshires. We had Yorkshire Farrowers for a while. Those mamas were probably around 650. That's a really big pig.
Yeah.
When you
So-
take one of those to a sale barn, people go, "Whoa." So,
Yeah.
unless it's one that handles pigs on the regular. So
Yeah, I think people see pigs and they think Babe, and like Babe,
yeah, I mean,
Was
Babe was a
not-
Yorkshire,
yes,
but it was a baby Yorkshire.
right.
A runt.
That's-
A runt.
That's the whole thing. Like that,
Yeah.
like a baby pig. Like people get like,
They're
oh,
so
it's a
cute."
teacup pig. It's so adorable, and yeah, but it won't stay that way.
Yeah.
It's gonna turn
Nope.
into a giant fat pig, and it's gonna be too big for your home very, very quickly.
Yeah, but
Indeed.
yeah, no, that was the thing. We sold the pony because we didn't have the time to train her, and
We had to tackle a pony. You ever try to catch a pony? Ponies are designed for
I mean,
speed.
I've tackled a lot of things. Yeah,
but it's
ponies
a
are designed
big
for speed.
creature too. But it became very clear what animals are a liability around children and feasible to take care of. Because while I do want to eventually get back into pigs just so we have that meat source, it's still like that's hard because the kids, especially that one daughter who loves animals, like they want to go and pet them. And this new calf, like they're constantly asking, can we go pet the baby? Can we go pet the baby? I'm like, no, because mama might flip out on you and run you over. And I don't want that to happen.
Mhm.
It's just, they got to
If-
be taught that respect of the space and that it's still an animal and unpredictable.
If the mama's gonna try to tackle anyone, it's gonna be me. And that's even though there's no way for me to stop it. I mean, I've had to fight a cow before. Like she's had some issues, like where you have to. It's so difficult because the animal's so big, right? And you
Mhm.
don't know what to do. So like I had a stick, and it was not a strong stick, but whenever like if she when she like got too rowdy or rough, I would hit her on the nose with the stick, and it would cause the stick to shatter because it was like a palm frond, like a big old palm frond that had solidified, and so it wasn't particularly strong. But the hitting and then the shattering was enough for her to like go whoa and calm down. But it was yeah, when you have a cow, it's like this thing could kill me at any point in time.
Yeah, we had to train her really early just to respect our space because we got her as a calf, and she would follow us around, which was not generally an issue, but she'd start like nipping at us here and there, and it was like just me picking up my foot and just like bopping her in the nose with my foot over and over until she was like, oh wait, no, they don't want me to do this. This is bad thing, and it hurts. So.
Yes. So for those of you following along at home, the nose is the area of the cow.
Think like punching a shark in the nose to get away in case of his.
It's the only place you can actually hurt the cow is the nose. Everything else is like armor. Like you
can crank on a tail. There are things you can do.
Yeah, but if you crank on a tail, that's you're in a position where you don't want to be because they're next.
If you can put a lead on, like a bridle or even just a loop over a cow's neck, if you want them to go somewhere, you start giving pressure and then you walk the opposite way because it'll pull itself right into because they want to go against you. So like if we wanted a cow to go in the barn, put a loop around her neck and then we'd try to pull her away from the barn and she'd back right in. It's kind of fun. Reverse psychology for bovine. Steven, I sent a picture to your email. I don't know if you can pull it up.
I can generally. Just give me a second. So one of the things that we do, like that I've told Kayla, because we have to move the cow from one side to another side. Did you send it to my email?
Yep.
Okay, I don't have it yet. But one of the things that we would tell, that I told Kayla is that when it comes to moving a cow, it doesn't matter nearly as much where you're moving so much as you are still moving, right?
You just got to get the momentum going.
Yes, because once you have the cow moving, then you can kind of guide where the cow is moving to. And I'm not getting. Do you think you could text me that photo? Because I seem to be a lot easier to get it on text than my email is not loading it yet.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, once you when you have a cow, it's more important that the cow moves than where the cow is actually going to. Because once you got moving, then you just keep walking around and you just steer it to where it needs to go. But I've had to do the things where it's like the cow stops and drops down to try to eat some grass. I'm like, I need you to keep moving. So I know that I can't really pull this like 600 to 800 pound cow anywhere I want. All I got to do is I walk to the side. That pulls her head to the side, and then she'll start going the way that I need her to.
Your phone should go, ding, your best friend texted you.
I am waiting on that.
Here, look at this.
Hold on. Oh, yeah, that is a nice pipe. Which pipe is that? Is that Gandalf?
Gandalf.
I love it.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
It was pity that stayed his hand. Actually, a friend of mine made this one for me. I can't claim that one, but it's really cool. Although I don't know if you've seen, we do have some really, really incredible 3D carved shapes that we're making right here in house. There's a dragon that you can blow smoke out its mouth or out of its nose. There's a Memento Mori skull, and there's Gollum.
I kind of need that. The one where
I'll grab a Gollum. Hang on.
I'm gonna get your image file up. Yes. Hold on.
There's the picture.
I'm gonna remove the image, show Golem, and then I'll put it back.
Okay. One thing at a time. So unfortunately the lighting's not going to be super great, but
that is so cool. And that's hand carved?
This is manufactured on some machinery right here in the workshop. right behind me.
Okay.
So
Nice.
we are making these, and they're I mean, it's Andy Serkis's Golem. They're rather
Nice.
realistic and grotesque, but it's Briar Churchwarden. They look really nice.
So that is
That a pig.
that's a pig. That is a giant pig.
That's big. I'm just over 6 feet tall, and that one's snout is touching the ground. The trotter is just shy of 9 feet off the ground. So, that one weighed about 450.
So that's a small one.
That's a small pig.
I mean, it's a big pig. It's a big pig, but that's a feeder. I mean, our farrowing stock would be a couple 100 pounds bigger. So, yeah.
Yeah, that's not something I'd want
big pig.
running at me or my children.
It's as big as a Jersey cow. A mid-sized Jersey.
Yeah, I mean, whew. All right. Well, we've hit the hour mark, and we want to be respectful of your time as well. And we're gonna have to do this again when your wife is feeling better, so that my wife will talk to her about girly things.
We can both just rag
Girly
on you guys.
things.
It'll be great.
Yes, like pipes.
I mean, that's what my wife will do. She'll just rag on me and make people laugh. Really, Mesh, you would have loved this conversation though with the homesteading stuff, because that is just what she lives for. But I mean, shoot, we haven't even talked about like gardening and greenhousing and stuff like that.
No.
We've only talked about critters.
Homeschooling.
So
Next time.
homeschooling. Next time.
Next time we'll have to have you guys back. This has been a lot of fun. All right. So I'm gonna end the live stream. When I do that, it should play an outro video, which is something that I want. So couple things. housekeeping things I have to talk about. The St. Philip Neri Festival is February 7th, 2026, from 1 to 8 p.m. at Vertuccio Farms in Mesa, Arizona. Go to catholicomedy.com/festival for more information. If you can't be there and you still want to help, you can donate there. And we actually have something really cool coming up with Notre Dame Federal Credit Union, where if you sit down and have a conversation with them for 30 minutes, they will give us $150 towards the festival. So that's something that we'll get more details on in the next few weeks. But we're going to try to push that out. So yeah, that's I guess that's housekeeping. That's the stuff that I need to say for marketing purposes.
And what about Caleb's business?
Oh, Caleb, go ahead and tell them where they can get any of your fantastic looking pipes.
My wares. Yes. Well, if you are interested in a briar pipe, be that a commercial line pipe or one of the handcrafted pipes, you can get set up at catholicpipecompany.com. If you're interested in the other stuff, we're going to have razors, veils, books, all kinds of stuff. catholictrad.com.
catholictrad.com. Okay. So a lot of people have been talking about Matt Fradd for a variety of reasons. And so I'm going to end this show with our fun sketch that we did last year. So that's going to be our outro video. So
I've made a couple of pipes for Matt Fradd, just for what it's worth. So
nice. Now he can show those pipes to Michael Knowles and Matt Walsh. So then they'll buy pipes. So I could see Matt Walsh buying a pipe and then having it, and Michael Knowles would get one of the Golem ones and then have that on his show. So I could see that. All right, so we're gonna do this. We're gonna end the stream, and then we'll see how this video thing goes.
Thank you for joining.
Thanks for joining. This year, we're announcing our new network, Ascension Action. We've taken all your favorite theologians and turned them into reality TV stars. Get a first look at our newest series, Matt Fradd, Crocodile Hunter.
I'm happy to be of help, but I'm a theologian. I've never even seen a crocodile.
Watch as we trap him in a room with a black mamba.
With a what? I'm not doing that!
You'll be okay. Just say crikey and use your Australian powers to control the snakes.
That's actually a bit racist. Is there really a snake in here?
There is, and to make it more challenging, we've turned out the lights.
Did something move past my leg? This interview's over. Get me out of here. Oh. Hello, snake. Crikey. Do you know anything about Thomas Aquinas?
Join us this fall in Ascension Action and watch Matt Fradd, Crocodile Hunter.
If anyone can hear this, please send help.